Afun Dashian Canine.
Yes.
Here we are, Rich DeBerry, kind enough to invite us all over to his home today in Louisiana. What an amazing road trip, 3,000 miles, and we still are going. Almost another week to go, ladies and gentlemen. And as you know, I'm looking at property in Alabama. Rich said, come look at the dogs. And as you know, I'm looking at presses. And so we came out down to check out his kennel. Absolutely amazing. Beautiful. One of the nicest kennels of any dogs I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Anyways, Rich, give us a background, your history, and like how it all developed into, I'm going to call it the American dream, because I look up to you. You're inspiration to a lot of people.
I appreciate that.
And we'll talk about the haters and everything that comes along with success, but give us the foundation,
you know
how it all started.
That's actually a really good question, because I had a guy just recently, because they see my house and the property and stuff on social media, and he was like, hey, how'd you get all this stuff? Were you an athlete? And I'm like, dude, no, because I'm a black and athlete. I mean, I was an NFL athlete. I worked hard. He's like, what do you mean? I said, okay, I'm from Portsmouth, Virginia. Portsmouth, a little teeny town, and at that time growing up, it was the death capital in the country. So it was nothing for me to hear guns and see cars on fire and stuff in my backyard. Literally. So we were so poor. I remember me and my mom and my sister had to take a pot of water, boil it, put it in a bathtub, and we took baths in the same water. We were that poor. Sleeping on the floor, hardwood floors. The government used to have these block of cheese. It was the best cheese ever. Like that still to this day was the best cheese. So I grew up on welfare. Like I was a poor kid.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't just that. Like my mom was like very mentally abusive, like calling me dummy and stupid. And so I had the mentally abusive part, which was normal back then. Beating the shit out your kid was okay. So I was child abused, didn't realize I was child abused, but it made me who I am today, because I developed a very strong work ethic. My mom worked her ass off. My dad worked his ass off. At 11 years old, 10, 9 years old, my dad had a concrete company. I'm carrying 50-pound bags of cement, working for him to like just make $5, $10, $15 a day, whatever it was. So I came from a very poor background. Then luckily I had a man, he was the first black Master Chief in the Navy that took me in at 11 years old with him and his two sons, Madison Chavez. I'll never forget this man. You talking about an impact player? Positive. He used to come to our football games. He got me in football, baseball, karate. He was to get on the sideline, come on, Richard, positive, you're a leader. Woo. And he would cheer you on. So this man embedded in my brain positivity, that I was a leader, and that's what I believed. Still to this day, can't nobody tell me any different. So that mindset that he put into us at 11 years old became a monster, because the more little wins I kept getting, the more I believed in myself, and I became a leader, and I stayed positive. And when people were negative, I would just get away from them.
Right.
So it went from that, and then I went to college, ended up getting a full scholarship to college, signed all my paperwork by myself because my parents wasn't really around. I left home at 11 years old. I lived with 5 different families. I wasn't adopted. I just left home at 11, went with him for 2 years, with another family for another 2 years. And by the time I graduated high school, I lived with 5 different families. And I signed my own scholarship stuff to go to college. I partied in college. I flunked out after, I think, 3 years of college. I played baseball in college. I went on a full football scholarship, played baseball, partied and chased women so hard that I flunked out. And then I got a young lady pregnant, and I ended up deciding to go to work, and I got into the car business.
Okay.
And that's where
it all changed.
Okay. So I did that for 20 years, from salesperson to finance manager, used car lot. I worked for a Fortune 500 company, and I became like a consultant F&I manager type person, where I did F&I training. We owned a warranty company. And then after 20 years, and then 10 years working for that company, they conform you. You got to walk like they say walk.
Yeah.
You got to talk like they say talk. You
Right.
got to move in ways where
say,
a poor black kid, okay, I can do it for so long, but after a while, I'm not being real to who I am.
Right. Well, I think that goes for anybody. If you really want to be a free person,
Yes.
you're not going to be working for somebody your whole life, right? So
That's
I mean,
the challenge, man.
at some point,
Because you chase the money.
you're right.
You chase the career.
Not
you
the
chase
freedom.
the dream.
Not the freedom.
And but again, that was the American dream.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
You have a family. You have a nice corporate job. You
Right.
make the money. You retire.
The security.
Yeah.
The
The
pension,
so
all
that
yeah.
didn't work for Richard DeBerry.
Right.
Like it did, but for so long, and then it got to the point one day they was like, Richard, we need you to move to Houston.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Right.
I tapped out.
So the entrepreneur inside just said, it's time to go on my own,
Yeah.
do my own
I had
thing.
no clue what I was going to do.
Right.
I just knew I didn't want to do that anymore.
Right.
So when they told me I had to move, I was like, I'm done.
Done.
I had enough of the games. And me and my manager, that was a friend of mine and he became my boss, he started acting weird and different. I wasn't comfortable putting myself as a man in that situation because you got another man playing with your livelihood. You know he's playing with it and he's doing it intentionally.
Right, right.
As a man, you're
a lot
like,
of politics, a lot of politics.
yeah, you're like, dude, like,
yeah.
we can still go outside in the front yard and fight.
Yeah.
Like that was always my mentality. So I'm not doing that.
Right.
So I left and had no clue what I was going to do. Like literally nothing. I had already had 3 or 4 presses because I traveled a lot. So I already flown to the Canary Islands and picked a couple dogs up. So my friend, she was like, why don't you train dogs? I said, man, you know how much money I make? I got to maintain this house. I got bills. I got debt. Like I've done the American dream when in debt. So long story short, so I went to dog training school for 3 months. I lived with this lady Monday through Friday. I would drive 4 hours to her house, stay at her training facility. And I did that for 3 months. Every day, like for the whole week, I stayed with her whole week, come home on the weekend, I went back. I would load my dogs up in the trailer, take them with me. When I left, I trained them there, the whole 9 yards. And then I started my dog training business and boom, it took off. I'm like, okay.
So you got the dog training, then the presser business.
Yeah, so I had the pressers going. I hadn't even started breeding dogs.
Right.
I was just buying dogs.
Okay.
So I got consumed in the buying dog part of it. And then I started training. And then I got deeper into buying dogs.
Right.
That's when I started doing the research on pedigrees,
Okay.
Presa Canario breeders, and see who was who in the Presa Canario world. And my whole goal was this. I wanted to separate myself from all the rest of Presa Canario breeders in America and in the world.
Okay.
So my goal was buy the best dogs from the best breeders and bring them back here and produce something with all the quality dogs in the world. Why not?
Right. Now, I just want to be, let everybody know, this isn't just talking about dogs. We're talking about business now, success, because you got very successful. Your dogs are $5,500 a pop.
Yes,
you
sir.
sell out quickly. And with success comes hate. And so there's a lot of people, no matter where you're at, you could be in social media, business, maybe people are just jealous of your lifestyle, the things that you have, the success that you've had. And so you've experienced that.
A lot.
I'll let you elaborate.
It's unfortunate.
We've talked many times, and you've done a lot of videos on it too, that even people that were close to you now literally hate you.
Yeah, for no reason. And you know, I won't say it's no reason. It's almost like they don't understand. They see you working, the people that's around you, that's in your circle, they see you working your ass off. Because I work my ass off.
What, you have a large property here.
And then, so I'm not partying, I'm not drinking, I'm working. So when they doing that stuff, I'm still working. I'm like, no, y'all go ahead, I'm going to keep working. Yeah. And then when you hit a level of success, oh, you think you all that.
Yeah.
Oh, your dogs ain't anyway. Yeah. Oh, that y'all don't buy from him. And then people start, and then you post stuff and you're trying to share positive information, and they always have something negative to say. When I'm like, what are you doing?
Right. What are you doing?
Are you helping, teaching, educating, and promoting the breed? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
How are you really impacting the breed? And they're not. So their way of impacting the breed is trying to bring you down.
Right, of course. Well, I mean, we went out to Eastern Tennessee, North Carolina to help out the flood victims. And of course, there's always 3 or 4 people that got to be negative about that. You know, but I was like, where are you at? We don't see you out here.
Correct.
We flew to Texas, 1,000 miles. Then we drove another 1,000 miles, plus to North Carolina. And people can criticize, judge, whatever, but I didn't see any of them there. So
here's the interesting part about me. I'm wired different.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing they can do.
Right.
If you want to shut me up, if you want to shut me up, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
If you want to see me get fired up, start being negative, start talking trash. Right. Now I'm gonna really piss you off. I'm gonna show you more.
Don't your dogs pretty much speak for themselves? The success is spoken for itself.
And I'm a humble person.
Right.
I know what I have, and I know how I could be bragging and say, I don't talk about nobody other kennels. I don't talk about nobody else's dogs. And trust me, people, hey, Rich, can you tell them my presser? I bought it from blah, blah, blah. No, you call them.
Right.
Hey, Rich, can you call your breeder?
Right.
Because I don't want them to ever say, yeah, I had a customer that called you and you were saying something. No. I don't play that game. Don't call me. So
let me ask you this. You're having success, beautiful home, beautiful property, living the dream. What would be some words of advice? Maybe the economy's in shambles right now. I think we can all admit that. What are some words of advice for people not to quit, not to give in, to keep the hustle going, to keep the drive going, to try and find what's left of the American dream. What's some words of success, words of advice you would give anybody watching this? Because I'm sure that there's going to be some people watching this video.
It's real simple. Quitters never win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as simple as if you quit, you're going to never get to where you're trying to go.
Right.
If you get frustrated and you get distracted and you get off track, that's okay.
Right.
But don't quit. Like, you got to keep grinding. When it's going to get tough, how they say the tough get going,
Yeah.
that's how I operate.
Right, just keep
and like right now, and I was telling my friend earlier, like last year, my dog training business was ticking more. So it ain't ticking as much as it is because of the economy. So I can't use the economy for the excuse because when that bill got to get paid, so you got to get paid. So I got to find other ways, and I don't get tunnel vision. So don't get tunnel vision. Don't get discouraged. Don't quit. Find other ways. Become very diverse.
Just kind of evolve and be diverse. You have the raw dog company too, which is having a lot of success.
That's fun.
So what got you to do that? Because that's another side hustle going on.
Yes. You know, that's the funny thing. It was a side hustle, and that's how I treated it for like 2.5 years. How did it happen? Pain.
Yeah.
It's weird how pain can sometimes bring the best out of you. It was a pain point for me because here I am. I did the research to realize that feeding raw over kibble, it was drastic. So I'm not an idiot, so I can see what's on by science. So I started feeding my dogs raw, and it was I bought the grinder, I was doing this, and I wasn't balancing the meals right. The dog was shitting too much, so I did a lot of things wrong, but I knew I was on the right track. And I was complaining to a friend of mine, and he like, why don't you get it made? And it was like, I never thought about it. I thought I had to make it. So then I ended up doing the research. I found a guy down in Florida. I went and bought 300 pounds of dog food. This is how it actually started. I posted it on Facebook in a group that I bought this dog food. I told how much I paid for it. And the guy said, can you sell me some? Sure. Ooh, sold him a little bit of my 300 pounds. Another person, can you sell me some? Sure. Before the week was over, the 300 pounds was gone. I'm like, shit, I got to drive 4 hours again. I'm driving 4 hours to get 300. So I ended up with 300 pounds or 500 pounds. And 2 years later, I'm buying 4,000 pounds at a time. Now, going into 4 years, when I order dog food, it's 40,000 pounds at a time.
It's a lot of dog food.
300 pounds to 40,000.
So do you enjoy doing all this? The dogs, the food company, and the other side hustles? You enjoy it, right?
It's like I don't even work.
Right.
It's weird.
So that's what people need to be doing, what they enjoy doing, chase the passion, right?
And here's the thing. You always hear people tell you, do what's passionate and the money will come, and you like, yeah, right, because I did. I didn't believe, I'm like, man, I can't play with dogs all day and feed dog food and think I'm going to be able to pay my... It actually happens because I really love it.
If you're good at something,
if you love it,
if you love it and you're good at something, if you love something, you'll become good at it.
Correct.
And
you got to be invested.
Of course. But if you really love doing something you're passionate about, you stick with it. More than likely, somebody's going to pay you some amount of money, and if you stick with it, maybe you make more money. So
here's the funny thing: the turning point for me.
Real quick, don't chase things for money, though. That's
what I was about to say.
Right.
You can't.
You can't.
And that's what the determining factor was, because had I been chasing for money, I would have stayed with the corporate company. Right? So the decision-making factor for me was, I asked myself this question: if I stay with them 10 more years, I know where I'll be. If I invested and bet on me for 10 years, if I have taken that 20 years I had into the car business and put it into my own business, where would I be? I knew instantly I would be way more successful because I know what I'm capable of. Right. So that's what I would tell people, like, bet on you.
I like it. I mean, I don't think there's anything left to say after that. Bet on you. Chase your passions. Don't chase the money. Don't chase the money. Rich,
your passions, man.
I want to thank you so much for having us out here.
The
dogs are beautiful, phenomenal. If they want to get a hold of you, number, website.
Website for the raw dog food company is easy. ifeedraw.com. ifeedraw.com. You can look me up on Instagram, Richard DeBerry, DeBerry, or La-Fun-Yun. A lot of people can't spell it because it's Spanish, but I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, and my phone number is 225-888-0025. 225-888-0025.
And in closing, I know we're going on long around here with this video with all the puppies, everything. I'm going to put all this together. It's really long, but there are some real serious times ahead. And if you watch my videos daily, you better be able to take care of yourself, your security, your house better be in order. And one of the biggest deterrents and one of the best assets that I know of is having a good dog. Little dogs are great. They're alarms. These dogs, these are man stoppers right here, and they give you another layer of defense at the home. So it's something, if you have the means, and Rich is not giving me a dog or paying me a dime, I'm looking for my own. And but I've always been, you know, since I was training police dogs many years ago and had dogs myself, one of the best deterrents you could have is a dog. You know, a big dog, a big scary dog like one of these is even a better deterrent. So it's something to think about. Again, they're not cheap, but you know, typically you get what you pay for. And look, if you have a Dalmatian, a Labrador, whatever, something's better than nothing. But if you can afford a good dog, a big dog, whether it be maybe a KBV dog from Europe or something more exotic like this, I think it's time you better start thinking about something like this, because that's why I'm here. I'm not here to waste Rich's time. No. We're not here to drive thousands of miles looking at houses and dogs. This is real. This is the real world. So I think we all better get our house in order and really be thinking about, you know, what's the plan if, you know, somebody got through that door, what's going to happen? What's, you know, what are you going to do? So
you don't want to be wishing.
You don't want to be wishing, because wishes don't always come true. Nope. Have a good day. God bless every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe again. Rich, thanks a lot. Beautiful, beautiful kennel.
Thank you.
Beautiful dogs.
I appreciate
Rich, a beautiful human being. So if you need anything, give him a buzz. Take care. God bless. We looked at a house yesterday that had an 8.5 acre pond on it, and that was huge. Oh, man. Man.
Just to give you a little bit of lay of the land. Over here is mostly my training dogs that I do for my clients. These will be all my dogs.
Okay. All right. So we'll just stick with your dogs then? All right.
I'll pull a couple of them out. Female, not even 2 years old yet.
All right, so this dog is under 2 years old.
Not even 2 years old.
Man,
She'll top out maybe around 135 range. She's a bigger female. And again, one thing you'll notice about all my dogs is the bone structure. I don't have small bone dogs. That's more of a pit bull style dog. That's a mixed breed to me. Yeah.
dude, this dog was huge, dude. Huge.
This is her brother.
So under 2 years old?
Under 2 years old. Boy. Gotta have chest. Chest and again bone. That's huge to me. And then when you're looking at pressures, rear angulation is something that I like. And when you look at these dogs, some of their legs are straight and they don't have this real angle. The tail should come down to the hock of the leg. Right here. Yep.
Big dog, huh?
Young dog, a puppy that I bred that was my keeper, Billy Jean. And her father and mother and father, both of the parents came from the Canary Islands as well. She has a litter of puppies on the ground right now.
Okay.
This is Bosnia. They came from the breeder Eduardo.
There you go. There you go.
These are two very interesting dogs. These are the only two of these in America.
Really?
Nobody else had this dog. It's called Ratonero palmaris. And from the Canary Islands, they was bred to hunt and kill rats. From all the slave ships and cargo ships that were brought over. That's what they was bred for.
Killers. Killers. Whoa,
Here
look at
and
it.
here are littermates.
Wow.
Same brother, same breeder, Eduardo.
What's the brother to this dog?
Sister. She's a female too.
Female right there?
Oh yeah.
Not even 2 years old.
No.
Not
Well,
even
no. She's over 2.
Oh, she's over 2. Okay.
She's like 25 months.
25 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still not fully grown. It's not grown at 3 years old.
That is a big. That is a big dog.
This right here is my oldest. This is my baby. When I got back in the presses,
Yeah.
this is my first dog. This is Gracie. And her breeder, in her bloodline is a guy named Ricardo. He's one of the most well-known Russet Canario breeders in the world.
How old is she?
4, almost 5 years old. She's fully grown.
Big dog. That is a big dog. That's a big dog.
Big difference.
This is a
This
big.
is greedy, man.
This is a very big dog.
Good boy.
Now, what is this?
I do personal protection work with him.
What's he weigh?
150 some pounds.
All right, put him at like 156.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Big boy. Wow.
And again, all of them bone structure. Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah, these are nice.
You like that? Yeah, they're pretty big.
He's probably one of the most popular Russet Canarios in the world right now. Like, everybody knows Greedy Man.
Big social media
Yeah,
star?
big.
Yeah.
Big. Because I can let him out and he's still friendly.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I can say, Stella, and he's
Yeah,
going to bite you.
yeah.
So, very well-balanced dog. This is a female dog, Lyanna. This is one of my favorites. This dog is a sweetheart.
I can
It's one of
tell.
my favorite. Breeders aren't supposed to have favorite colors.
Yeah.
But this is one of my favorite colors.
So you call it a fawn, buckskin?
Back. Yeah. And again, look at the muscles, the fullness. Chest. And this is something when you're looking at these dogs, you'll notice. Look at the bone and the body and the angles of the dog when you're looking at them. Again, one of my favorite colors.
So Rich, you call that a buckskin, a fawn?
It's called a red fawn.
A red fawn, okay. And what about this one? This one, what would you call that?
That's just a fawn.
Fawn, okay.
She's more of a younger dog. She's not even 2 years old either. And I import her in from Poland.
Poland,
Yep.
okay.
And this is her brother. Lyanna and Urian, their breeder is one of the most famous Russet Canario breeders in the world.
This is a big
This
dog.
guy's been breeding for 45 years. Another big dog.
Really pretty dog.
Very good producer. And this is who has the litter of puppies right now.
And this dog, What's the weight on that dog, Rick?
About 150 some pounds too.
All right, big.
You know, it's interesting. Like for me, I don't care about the weight of the dog more than I care about the physical look and structure and movement.
Right. Gotta move.
And some people care. Oh, this dog he's 2 years old. He weighs 260. I don't care about the weight.
Yeah.
Because if you got a real presser, the weight's gonna come naturally.
Right. But it's like typically I don't see dogs this big. So
No,
I
you
gotta
don't.
ask,
You don't.
You know, so
Because
I mean,
you don't
makes
see a
Rottweiler
lot of real pressers.
Yeah, it makes a Rottweiler look small.
Yes. And that's the thing, man. Like, when you go to the Canary Islands, which I've done, like I said, 4 times, the dogs that I see and have seen there versus the Presser Canaries I see here in America, they're different dogs.
Yeah.
Like, they're different.
Right.
The dogs there are a lot bigger. The bone structure there, the size is there. You come here, it's opposite.
Yeah.
And then, don't get me wrong, some people have some nice dogs here, but I'm saying collectively as a whole, you see bigger, more massive, that molluster-looking dog with the pressures it's supposed to be.
Right.
You see that there. Then we have, the interesting thing is this dog right here, mother, father.
Mother.
Which is Greedy Man, that fawn male, that's his son.
Okay.
So,
I see the resemblance.
and this dog right here, the mother, her dad is a dog named Enzo, which was the top dog in the world at the World Dog Show. So that's like here you in the Westminster, the Yuba Dog Show, her father won that title.
Okay.
So when it comes to pedigrees and bloodlines, I was very selective to get the best of the best Presser Canario pedigrees in the world.
Okay.
So that's what we have. Now I'll show you the litter of puppies.
Oh Lord. Look at this.
Watch your ankles. Watch your ankles.
Here, just hold up for a second. Let's see. Here, put me in it so you kind of see. So, 9 weeks old. Look at the size of it. 9 weeks old. Here, I'll pull you. Wow. Look at this guy right here.
That's the easiest way to get them back in.
Yeah, they ditched us fast. Wow, so nine weeks old. That's a big. I mean, look how big they are for 9 weeks
They can
old.
be big puppies, man. They can be big dogs. When you have the father that's a 150-some pound dog, then you have the mother that's gonna be up 120 pounds. But then her father was another 160-pound dog, which is a 150, 160-pound dog. So, and the pedigrees and the bloodline, big bone dogs are there. So those puppies are gonna be some
Big, pretty much breeds big.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what we have with the puppies.
Wow.
Come on. I'll show you something else.
Okay. We're moving on. So, Rich was kind enough to invite us down to see the dogs at his kennel. Beautiful kennel, by the way, spotless.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
That's important. I mean, the dog got to live in a good condition. The biggest thing for me when I started doing this was to make sure that the facility was nice, that it was clean, that it was neat. So, and then when people come by, so they know it's not about the money to me. Like I spent $150,000 on this.
You can tell.
So I ain't cut corners.
Right.
I don't want my dogs living on dirt and the chains and all that. Like,
and $17 a day to feed a raw diet to one of these large dogs.
Yeah.
So add it up, and you got how many adult
17 dogs.
$17.
Yes,
a day.
it's $17 a day.
Yeah.
30 days a month.
Yeah, add it up.
360, don't make me think about it. I'll get sick.
So this is Rich's neighbor's lake.
6 acres.
26 acres.
Dual ponds.
That's the place.
Wow, dude, you could take your boat out there.
Oh yeah. So a lot of times I'll take the dogs out here. I'll let the dog swim in his pond.
Wow.
And then I got the canoe, and I'll do some crappie fishing and bass fishing in there.
You ever get gators out here?
No gators in this area.
Okay.
The gators from here is probably 15 minutes away though.
Okay.
But it's not enough water for them to make it here.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
long hike, huh?
Yeah, long hike.
Man.
Somebody, occasion will find them before they make it this far. I
Oh, okay.
promise.
Yeah.
There ain't no doubt.
Dinner.
I promise.
Go ahead. Repeat.
This is where we whelp puppies. So we don't like the puppies to be around in other environments where they can get sick real easy. So I built this building to be able to isolate and separate the puppies from conditions.
So it's like the nursery.
This is nursery. So if I wanted to, puppies are in here. Clearly I have no litters right now.
Oh,
Puppies in here, TV, sound, AC, temperature control. I can have a litter of puppy in here, and then a litter of puppies in here.
Got it.
All cameras, hydration systems to keep the humidity and stuff down. So
Nice.
this room is really controlled. It's junky right now, but this is our building where we do the puppies.
Very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
And again, we ain't cut uncut corners.
Right. Right.
And when you go around, you won't see Prussia Canadian breeders.
That
like
that
this.
means a lot.
Yeah.
Your dogs are very, very well
Yeah,
loved.
that's important to me.
Yep. That's a whole different world out here.
Oh yeah, man.
Like coming from Cali.
Oh, big time difference. And look, I like in the evening time when the sun's setting, man, it's so beautiful to stand up here and see everything. So now the project that I'm doing right now, cleaning up the tree line, I cut down see the whole big pile. I think I took on like 8 trees a day. I'm gonna clean the whole property up, make it nice, neat, like a front yard, like a park. Build obstacle courses and stuff here for the dogs to play.
All back
and run
there?
around. All the whole back
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do like your bike work back there,
Oh,
an
yeah.
obstacle course.
Do bike work in everywhere.
Yeah.
So in buildings, outside, in the woods.
Yeah.
Just different scenarios.
So you put like like what we did at Aloe.
I'm actually coming out with my own supplement, but that's what I use a lot right now is New Pro and New Vet.
So I mean, obviously very important because these are big dogs. So best diet, supplements.
Hip and joints is huge for big dogs.
And you're what do they do for as far as hip X-ray or?
It's two. Here's the trick with this. So people will say they health test their dog, and they have something that's called OFA, where a person like me and you could go work at a vet, and when we lay the dog down, we X-ray them,
Right.
and they say, okay, the dog is good.
Right.
You pay $150, $200 for that. Then you have what's called Penn Hip, like Penn State University, where you have to be certified, go to school, pass exams, and make sure you know how to properly lay the dog, put in positions to be able to tell if the dog's going to develop hip dysplasia. You can start it at 4 months up to 2 years time frame where you can get that done.
Okay.
So for breeders and for me trying to sell you a puppy, that's the best and healthiest thing that I can do to protect me and you, as well as the dogs do a Penn Hip test.
Right. So
all
the
of my dogs, and that's like a $600 test.
Yeah.
Counting the dogs, $600 a piece.
Right. And you do the dew claws too, don't you?
Yeah, all my puppies' dew claws are removed.
Ears.
Ears cropped, dew claws removed, microchip, all shots. The dog comes, you got to get 1 vaccination and rabies shots, and the dog's ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you're spending $5,500 for a puppy, right? So
Right.
the dog's gonna come ready to go. The food quality, already eating raw dog food.
Right.
So if you want to keep them on that, you can. And then what I do for all my puppy clients, when they buy a puppy, they get 15% off lifetime from my website. They go in, they want to feed raw dog food. I encourage it, so you get 15% off the entire time you feed the dog that.
Okay.
So that's something I do too.
Yeah, I mean, these are all things you got to think about. It's a lot of money, and you could like anything else, you kind of get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Some people might want to shortchange a little bit, but
But this is what happens, right? People call me and like, damn, $5,500. And then they'll buy the dog from somebody else. Then a year later, they call me, hey man, my dog moving weird, or his teeth is falling out, or is this, he's not acting like he should be. Well,
and then now you're attached to the dog too.
then
now,
you're attached to the dog, and you're not happy with the dog,
Right.
and you feel like scarred.
or even worse,
the dog gets sick and dies.
Yeah, or it's got bad hips.
Yeah, and you gotta put
4
the
years
dog-
from now,
yeah.
and you got to put the dog down. That's
Yeah.
that. You
So
don't want to go
you
through
spend
that.
more than $5,500.
Yeah, you don't want to.
And then the breeder says, "All right, I'm gone. They're out of business,"
Right.
or "That's your fault that it happened."
Yeah.
When I give you the dog was fine.
Right.
You got to prove it.
Right.
See, with me, I do a 2-year health guarantee. So when you get around 20 months in time frame of the dog age, you're required take the dog to the vet. Let's check them.
Mm-hmm.
You've invested $5,500. Let's check the dog out. If the dog happens to have developed hip dysplasia, because it's not 100% foolproof,
Yeah, right.
it ain't no questions asked. I'm gonna replace your dog.
Right.
Keep the dog. It's yours.
Right.
We're gonna fix him so he's not bred. And here go another pup.
That's good.
Yeah.
And just because the doesn't might have a little hip dysplasia doesn't
Doesn't
always
put
mean
him down.
that's always going to be bad.
No.
But if it's severe case, yeah, you're going to have
Oh,
problems.
yeah,
but
it's
this
severe
eliminates the majority of chances of it arising in the dog because
Yeah, because
you're breeding check dogs.
What
So
happens? The bone goes up in the socket like this. When the dog has hip dysplasia,
Yeah.
it could be loose.
Right.
And how the bone is round, it could look like you took a hammer and chisel.
Right.
And it's not a complete round ball. It's now a chisel ball.
Right.
So when the dog go to move, it's if you watch some dogs, if you start really, I look at dogs, and I can see some dogs' back legs, so one leg will do a little weird twitch or something. It's because that bone is not up in that socket.
Right.
And then the thing that's tricky between, again, like I said, when it comes to x-raying a dog and doing a pin hip, you can x-ray a dog and it looks fine.
Yeah.
But then you do a pin hip and they show you the laxity in it. He's like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So by doing that extra step, it protects everybody.
right, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right. By the way, for people that don't know, Richard's this is one of Richard's companies
Yes.
too, where he has a raw food diet. We just call it Essential Blend. What's the name of the company?
Yeah, so the company is called The Foundation Raw, and we have 8 different blends of raw dog food from just beef, which is right here with your essential blend, and it goes all the way down to your ultimate blend, which is like an 80-10-10 diet, meaning 80% protein, 10% secreting organs, and 10% calcium, which a dog has to have.
So quick point, if you're going to buy a dog like this, you better have the funds.
Yeah,
You better have the capital if you're going to feed a dog. I mean,
Correct.
for instance, these dogs are 150 pounds.
if you want to do it the right way.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I don't cut corners, so
I mean, if you drive a Ferrari, you're putting Mobil 1 in there,
Yes. Yes.
and you're using one of the best
Correct.
premium
Same thing with the
gasoline.
dogs.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have all these different blends. We ship nationwide. You can go right online to ifeedraw.com.
How's business?
Booming.
Booming.
Yeah, because this is why. Now with Google and internet, people are now able to do the research to see and not be told that kibble versus raw is no comparison. Like raw diet is way better than kibble.
Okay.
I explain it like this. You eating Burger King every single day,
Yeah.
and then I take you to a prime steakhouse, that's your difference.
Yeah.
Burger King, McDonald's is like kibble.
Yeah.
The raw dog food is like eating at your prime steakhouse every day. That's your difference.
And man, you feel a lot better after you had a prime steak or
Yeah,
a
no
big
doubt.
prime
You
rib.
perform better, you move better,
you
everything
feel
is
better,
better.
stronger, you sleep better, the whole thing.
That's because you're actually absorbing it, and just like the dog.
Right.
That was the first thing I noticed when I switched from kibble to raw, how much less dog shit I had to clean up. It was drastic.
Yeah.
Like I thought the dog was sick. I called my vet. I'm like, hey, my dog isn't pooping as much. She's like, what did you do? I said, I switched to raw. She said, well, that's what happens. 'Cause
Absorbing.
They're absorbing the nutrients
Yeah.
compared to shit and wasting out your money
Good point. And once a day.
once a day. This right here, this was like my original blend I came out with, which is the Heritage blend. The Heritage has 80% beef, 10% secreting organs, and 10% bone. And this is a 2-pound log.
Okay.
So a lot of people want 2-pound logs compared to 5 pounds because they have smaller dogs.
Right.
So this is
But the big dogs are
easier.
eating 5-pound
5
dogs.
pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fortune in that freezer right there.
Oh yeah.
Who's buying these types of dogs? Is this a flex, or are we seeing more problems in the world now? I mean, where we come from, there's a lot of crime. People are getting worried. The people in Beverly Hills, I mean, the celebrities,
Yep.
the rock stars, they're getting robbed left and right. So these types of dogs.
Very good question. I have a lot of high-profile clients. I have some NFL players, but your typical person that values life and don't want to carry a gun all the time. for instance, I had a young lady that was in a physical abusive relationship. She purchased a 150-pound dog that we made her personal protection dog. So people that want some personal protection, that's typically who I'll see to get to come buy the dog. I don't get many people that are just normal people that want a pet dog that's not going to do anything with the dog, buy it. Every once in a while. Most of the time somebody buy the dog, they're doing something with the dog because it's capable.
Right.
And even if people just want it as a pet, which, like I said, happens but not as often, they still take the dog, get it trained, because when you have a dominant breed, they do dominant breed shit. Like,
so how are they with kids?
Excellent. It's funny, I got a video on my pool. I had a little 3-year-old girl. She was in the pool. I had a 150-pound dog I do protection work with. He gets in the pool on his own, and she grabs the dog. She jumps on his back, and she's swimming, and he's swimming around the pool. And then bring him back out, and he'll bite something. So the dogs are like this. If you get a very quality bred dog presser, if I'm a quality breeder, and not a backyard bred dog, the dog's mentally balanced.
Right, right.
So if you get a backyard bred dog, you're dealing with a dog that's not mentally balanced, that will bite a kid.
You do not want a nervous, nervous dog.
And then the bite pressure is insane.
What is the bite pressure on these
Over
dogs?
550 PSI. So they do damage.
Yeah.
And then you get a kid that you're doing personal protection when a dog happen to get out or do something happens, or bite you accidentally because we friends and you come shake my hand real quick and the dog think you fighting me and the dog bites you. That's a problem. So that's why, to me, it's important to have a very quality bred dog, know the history, know the pedigree, know the breeder. So when you get this type of breed dog, you're not just getting something that could be dangerous that you don't know yet until the dog gets 1.5 years, 2 years old, and it starts becoming that dog.
Now, I was told, could be wrong, that whatever these dogs grow up with, animals, kids, family members, they're very protective of.
Correct. Now, here's something that's interesting too, though. They are protective of it, but they're also still dominant, which means if you have another dog, another male dog or a female dog, I always tell my clients, don't leave them together by themselves.
2 male dogs, 2 female dogs.
Don't do it because if they playing, somebody can have a bad day and the plan going to, you played with me too hard. Bam, I'm gonna hit you back faster, and then you got a dog fight. So when you got dominant breeds, whether it's a Prussia Canary or a Rottweiler, you don't leave them dogs alone without having some type of monitoring system.
In the past, when I've had big dogs, possum got in the yard. Now I got 2 males. They just killed a possum. Now somebody's going to fight who keeps the possum. 3 o'clock in the morning, you have a dog fight.
But like you see, I don't leave my dogs together like that. Some people can, some people do. I don't understand how I watched the video today. The guy had 6 Prussia Canarios, adults all running around together. If I was to open those kennels up and let those dogs out together, it's going to be a bloodbath. That my dogs are dominant.
That's the drive, the dominance.
They have drive, and they just dominant dogs. So that's what I have. I don't have the soft, watered-down press.
So you got to be responsible.
I make my owners get the dogs trained. Like, if you buy a dog from me, the part of the contract is you have to get the dog trained. If you can't get the dog to pass a basic obedience test yourself. So it's called a CGC, Canine Good Citizen. So if you can't train a dog enough to do that, part of my agreement is you have to take it to a trainer to get it done, because it takes the responsibility away from me and don't put you in a bad predicament.
I would probably advise for somebody who's never really owned a big dominant dog, this is probably not where you start.
Well, that's wrong. Well, and the reason why, because if you're responsible and you follow the instructions that you're given and the boundaries are set and you understand what the expectation is, as long as you're not an idiot, you just do what you're told and you can handle this type of dog. I get first time big dog owners a lot. But we go through the steps so we can protect them and the dog so they can have a healthy life. So as long as you just follow the lead.
Got it. So what about my little French Bulldog, Nugget? Will this dog eat Nugget?
Be a chicken tender? No, it won't eat Nugget. As long as Nugget is friendly and playful, the dog will be the same too. No, it won't eat your little Frenchie.
This dog will keep an eye.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.